Hello and welcome to the top 10 heart characters on Bleach Brave Souls. Now I know this video is a little bit late, and I apologize. It's been a busy week, and this is one really difficult list to come up with, since there's so many good heart characters. With that said, here are the top 10. Now, as I mentioned, this was a pretty difficult list to come up with, and one of the hardest positions was number 10, believe it or not, because I couldn't figure out whether to give to Tag Team Renji or Tag Team Izuru. Spoiler, Tag Team Izuru did not make it, though he is the slightly better character under specific circumstances. The reason I chose Renji is because of his range. While he may not technically have a full screen strong attack, he does have Havoc at 20, essentially making a strong attack 3, which is a charge move, a full screen if fully charged. Not to mention that it doubles in strength, and has a slight chance of inflicting burn. It's a great strong attack since he has a really high SP and frenzy, so it's gonna do a lot of damage. He's also got excellent range on his other two strong attacks, and his strong attack recharge link will let him spam these moves. Plus, because he has a double killer of Hollow and Arankar, you can take him anywhere that has these enemies, and you'll be able to clear the floor relatively quickly because of the range. Finally, we have this character's special, which is full screen and is guaranteed to inflict burn, though unfortunately he does not have Debilitator. Now, in the past I have put Tag Team Izuru ahead of him, but I have since switched them, since things like Senkaimon and Guild Quest rely heavily on range, which he does not have. Next up, we have the Halloween version of Ruka, a character with a super high SP as well as frenzy, and the ability to inflict debilitating weakening on all of her attacks. This is particularly impressive on her strong attack 1 since it has a 180% mag and hits a ridiculous amount of times. At close range, it's very likely to inflict debilitating weakening on your enemies, and you can bet that it'll also increase the combo. She also has pretty decent range on her other strong attacks, though none of them are full screen, and she's completely immune to being frozen. That, and the fact that she has a no affiliation killer, makes her pretty useful in a number of different Senkaimon floors. Now, I've talked about the no affiliation killer in the past, and I don't want to get into it again, but it's basically a double-edged sword. It doesn't come up often, but when it does, it's super useful. Honestly, she'd likely be a little higher on the list if it wasn't for this killer, even though, like I said, it can come in handy, but for now this is where I'll put her. Ruka also has the advantage of being human, and right now there's only one human killer in the entire game, and let's be real, you're likely never gonna meet up with him, so she's definitely got that going for her. Finally, we have Ruka's special, which is guaranteed to inflict debilitating weakening, allowing you to deal even more damage, and saving your life in specific situations when bosses are about to use their special.
退屈な戦いだったぜ。インレルシャッター。そこで寝てろ。
Next on the list, we have Noahto Ryuga, the Parasol version. Noahto has a super high SP, frenzy, and the ability to inflict debilitating burn on all of his attacks. Like Ruka, he also has a 180% mag strong attack 1, and it's also very likely to inflict burn at close range. It's also useful for increasing the combo, and it's an excellent boss killing move, because of its likelihood to inflict burn. Then we have his strong attack 3, which is a charge move. It doubles in strength when fully charged, and hits for a lot of damage. It's also likely to inflict burn. He also has a strong attack recharge link, meaning you can spam his strong attacks, and his normal attack is also pretty useful, since it's a piercing normal attack, and also has a good chance of inflicting burn. And then there's Noahto's special. Like most other specials, it's also full screen, and this one can inflict burn. It also has the advantage of inflicting weakened defense on the enemies, allowing you to deal even more damage after the special is cast, assuming the enemies aren't dead. In the past, I have put Ruka ahead of him, but due to epic raids being a thing, the Hollow Killer is now becoming a little more useful, not to mention the utility of a boss killing character in Senkaimon.
瞬身と呼ばれたわしの動き、お主に見切れるかの。どうじゃ。
Next on the list, we have Yoroichi Shihoen, the second past version, who has a ridiculous SP of 770, as well as a boosted strong attack recharge link of 14%, which definitely comes in handy when her strong attack 2 is a boost move that boosts her attack, defense, and focus by 33%. Plus she has Enhancer, and the combination of that and her strong attack recharge link give you a lot more variety on how to build her, because you can essentially make a character with infinite boost. And because her attack stat would be over 850 at that point, you can basically make her a normal attacking and strong attacking character, though you will have to carefully choose the links and accessories that you use, because keep in mind that she's also a good support character, since the boost move affects the entire team, and in co-op you may want to think about that too. This character also has a strong attack 3 that's a full screen move, and hits in a number of waves. And let's not forget that this character is a Ichi, so she's gonna have an above average number of flash steps, though unfortunately still no long stride, because Tech Soifun ruined that for everyone. Still, it means you can get quests finished faster, and it also becomes relatively easy to dodge an enemy special. These extra flash steps also help Ichi take full advantage of her boost move, since there's less time wasted in traveling.
地獄から逃げられるのはただ一人。この鈴虫本体を握る者だけだ。
Next up, we have personally one of my favorite heart characters, Kaname Tosen, a remake that was so desperately needed, and one that was really well received, since he's one of the most useful characters to have. He also has a really high SP, Frenzy, and he can inflict debilitating weakening on all of his attacks, all of which have really good range thanks to his plus 20 Havoc. He's also really good for racking up the combo. His strong attack 1 has a really wide range and hits multiple times, and his strong attack 2 is a crawling vortex move, perfect for things like guild quest or just for getting enemies together and pushing them back. This is useful in any PvE, but in particular Senkaimon, since it's really good for controlling the field, and really good for avoiding enemy specials, not to mention having a really high chance of weakening. Finally, we have his strong attack 3, and his is a very similar situation to Renji's. It's not entirely full screen, but kind of is because of Havoc. Honestly, my only complaint for this guy is that his SP isn't higher, but that's just a timing thing, it really can't be helped. Still, he continues to be one of the best heart characters in the game.
仕方ないから特別にやってあげてるだけだからね。見ればわかるでしょ、私の気持ち。受け取るわよね。
Next up, we have the second Ryuga on this list, but this time it's the Cacao Society version. Now, if I'm being honest, I kinda find Ryuga to be a little annoying. Still, I can't deny this is a really good character. She's got a super high SP, Frenzy, and has the ability to inflict debilitating paralysis on all of her attacks. She's also got a Soul Reaper Killer, and she's got a human affiliation, which is a pretty good combo. She's also got some pretty sweet strong attacks. Her strong attack 3 is full screen, her strong attack 2 has pretty good range, and her strong attack 1 is similar to Kaname's. Like his, it has really wide range, and has a very good chance of inflicting its status element because it hits multiple times, also helping to increase the combo. Something else that does this is her normal attack. She may not have flurry, but each one does hit twice, which basically doubles the chances of inflicting paralysis, plus they're piercing, so they're gonna hit the enemies behind those too. Finally, we have our special, which is guaranteed to inflict paralysis, but it also leaves the enemies behind with weakened defense, letting Ryuga and the rest of the team deal more damage to the enemies, while they in turn can do nothing since they're paralyzed. Combine all this with the fact that she's completely immune to weakening, and you have yourself a really good character.
お見事。そしてさようなら。君にはもはや後悔させる時間すら惜しい。
Next on the list, we have Uryu Ishida, Bun's version, who like many of the other characters before him also has a really high SP as well as Frenzy. Now, we have a lot of good humans in this game, but Uryu is one of the best. Sadly, he doesn't have a full screen move, but the attacks that he has are really good, since all of them with the exception of his normal attack can inflict debilitating burn. His strong attack 1 hits a large number of times and pushes enemies back. It's good for increasing combo and inflicting burn. His strong attack 2 is a crawling vortex move similar to Kaname's, really good for controlling the field, pushing bosses behind so their special misses, and perfect for racking up the combo in guild quests. Not to mention the super high probability of inflicting that burn. Then we have his strong attack 3, which is a charge move. And while usually charge moves go from 120 max to 240, this one goes all the way up to 480. Of course, the damage is spread out, and when it's all said and done, it's pretty much just a regular charge move. Then we have his special, which is full screen and guaranteed to inflict burn, and leaves the enemies behind with a weakened attack. Finally, we have the character's normal attack. He may not be a NAD character, but it is an impressive normal attack since it splits off its last attack into 3 different arrows, each dealing damage at 120 mag. Also, it's a really fast attack.
向かってくるのだ。容赦はしねえ。見せてやる。これが氷雪系最強の力か。
Next, we have the Belief version of Toshiro Hitsugaya, a character tied with the 3rd highest SP in the game, and the first character ever to have a boosted full stamina damage link. meaning that as long as his health is full, his normal attacks, strong attacks, and his special are gonna do 25% more damage. And this should be pretty easy for him since he has a strong attack 2 that's a shield move, which forms 3 barriers around Toshiro and 1 around his allies. This makes him a pretty good support character and a character that's really useful in Senkaimon since this comes in handy in surviving specials. This attack is also the only thing in his arsenal that can't inflict debilitating freeze, as everything else can, including his full screen strong attack 3 that's pretty quick to activate, and his strong attack 1 that's also pretty quick to activate and has pretty decent range. The reason I bring that up is because this character actually makes for a decent PvP character. I'm not gonna say top tier, but considering he starts off with 10 barriers, he's pretty much guaranteed to pull off some of his strong attacks. So with the proper Senkaizen build, you're guaranteed to pull off some damage. He's the second character with this ability, and I certainly hope they give it to more characters.
挽回水無月雑境はこれにておしまい。
At number 2 we have Yachiru Unohana, the captain of Squad 4, as well as one of the most sought after character, if not the most sought after character in the game. This is because she currently holds the title of PvP Queen, and while she may not be the fastest character to auto with, she's definitely the most reliable, thanks largely to her abilities. Retsu has a damage reduction soul trait that when stacked can go all the way up to 76%. She also has a heal move that comes in handy when autoing and also PvP. The rest of her strong attacks, while they do have decent range, don't really deal that much damage, so in an effort to save time, we're just gonna skip them. We're gonna jump straight to her special. It also doesn't deal that much damage, but does have a 5% chance of inflicting instant death, not to mention that it heals the entire party for 60%. Having both a healing special and a healing strong attack 2, it basically makes her the ultimate support character. But she's a support character that can hit like a tank, because she has a really high attack and flurry. Now it's at this point that I want to point out that a lot of people are going to be angry that I put her at number 2. And that's fine, heaven forbid I make a choice that's going to make people angry. Though I do get it, an argument can be made for her being number 1. But the reason I'm not is because of her killer flurry combination. Characters with flurry typically have a bad killer. In this particular case, she has a captain killer, which is pretty much only useful in PvP and when you're up against bosses, and even then only specific bosses. And in an era where killers are multiplied, this is actually a big problem. Now I plugged this in the last video and I'm gonna do it again now. If you have not seen this video that's on your screen right now, and you think that because she has flurry she should be number 1, I suggest you go watch it. It's linked in the description below. That said, her poison flurry combination make her deadly in PvP, and she's probably the character that's made Caleb the most amount of money because of it. Though I'm not gonna lie, with the Arankars coming up, I have a strong feeling she's about to be dethroned. Now before I get to number 1, here are a few more characters that I wanted to put on this list.
Santa Claus からの贈り物です。喜んでいただけたでしょうか。
そろそろ本当にやっちゃうよ。爆道の62、百歩欄干。終わりだ。
残念だったな。終わりだ。ヘドが出る。
せっかくの祭りじゃ、もっと楽しめ。
これで全部終わりだ。
Now finally at number 1 we have the manga round 4 version of Ichigo, or the true Bankai Ichigo if you prefer. He has one of the highest SPs in the whole game as well as Frenzy, and he's got really good range on his strong attacks. His strong attack 1 is a lunge move and his strong attack 3 is a full screen move. His strong attack 2 though is where he really shines, because it's a boost move with enhancer, but when used on Ichigo it's unlike any other boost move you've seen. Not only does it increase his attack, defense, and focus by 33%, making his attack over 850, but it does something that no other boost move does, which is actually increase increases magnifications on his normal attack and his strong attacks. This can be seen with characters like 1000-Year Blood Warrior Ichi or 1000-Year Blood War Kenny. When they use their specials, they transform and their strong attacks deal more damage because of it. It's essentially that, but he can do it forever, since building him correctly can get you into an infinite boost. Though I should point out it's not as powerful as Yoruichi's or Kenny's transformation, as their strong attacks go from being a 120 mag to a 150 mag, and his go from a 120 mag to a 140 mag. Still, his increases his attack by 33%, so his strong attacks get an increase of that too. Plus, you got a normal attack with increased magnifications, and that can deal a lot of damage because of the ridiculous attack. All this while still being a support character. Combine that with the Soul Reaper Killer and the complete resistance to paralysis and weakening, and you've got yourself the #1 heart character. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this list, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the next top 10 list.